everyone. This is the first one of a series of interviews that will capture how female founders around the UK are living through this emergency moment that we are facing now. So I've selected 20 women who run their own business, and we're going to talk to them all about what was it like before, how is it like now, and another series of questions I prepared for them. So our first guest, as you can see, is Cynthia. Oh, I can't say your name. Say again.
Cynthia Moore.
Yes. I'm going to just pass it on to her and she can tell you all about it. So do you want to tell us a bit about you and your business?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Francesca. I hope we can have a nice chat that's also useful for people watching it. As you can see, I'm a coach. I work a lot with entrepreneurs and professionals, helping them find ways to grow their business and grow their careers. And yeah, it's something that I've always really loved doing. You know, coaching is something that's just so rewarding, and I really enjoy working with people. As a business on my own, I only started it towards the end of last year, so it's pretty new, and this is bad timing. I was just starting to ramp up, but actually I think I wouldn't say it's a blessing in disguise, because it clearly isn't, but there's some opportunity in this situation, and I think there's some positivity that we can all take away from it. So for myself, you know, before this crisis happened, I was probably spending a lot of time trying to do different bits all over the place. And when this happened, when this hit, it really made me focus on working on the things that really add value right now to others, actually, more than anything, because it was such a mind-bending thing that happened when all these countries around the world started to lock down. And I was actually in Spain when Spain went on lockdown. I had to travel very fast back to the UK. So yeah, it
was very lucky that you managed, because I have friends who actually live in Singapore, and they were in Japan when Singapore locked everything. So now they're in Paris, staying at a friend's house whilst this whole goes on, because they couldn't go home, and the only place where they could go from Japan was Paris.
Yeah. And it would have been so difficult, and I'm really glad, you know, I mean, the ferries from Europe were already reducing their services. It was really hard to get across, but luckily the Eurotunnel saw us right and got us out. And yeah, it was a stressful couple of days, and we were in France when they locked down, so every time you sort of get a little bit closer, there's more stuff locking down. And it's stressful. Yeah, so the whole experiencing that, and then coming to the UK where everything was kind of still as normal, because the UK was a little bit later in reacting in that way. It was weird, you know, so you sort of, your mind's getting used to this lockdown situation, and back and everything's open again, but you're aware of the risk of the virus, and no one else is, and so there was so much adapting and flexing in your state of mind that we were having to do. That was a challenge.
So in terms of family and business, how did you have to adapt when all of this happened? And so did you notice any change in business, and did you have to make any changes around your families before the lockdown, and then what happened when the actual lockdown was put in place?
Yeah, so we actually had to find somewhere to live, because we'd been away for a while, and our own house was already let. So we had a number of challenges, and I don't have children, so it's just my husband, myself, and our Jack Russell.
That counts.
In terms of family life, things pretty much carried on as they were. But yeah, we had to find somewhere to live. Luckily we did. We had some great help, and we're now in this place where we're very happy. I'm not actually in this coffee shop. I just in a coffee shop. So it's making me feel good. But yeah, and in business wise, it came down to really focusing on what people need and what adds value. So in terms of business, where I was probably working maybe 4 hours a day, I'm now doing 9-10 hours a day. And
Wow.
whereas before I was maybe spending half my time thinking of content creation and more digital marketing side, I'm now spending the whole time just in conversation with people, just constantly talking with people, because there are so many people out there who are having to get their head around this new reality. People who are being furloughed, who are losing a chunk of their income, businesses that are completely shut, or even if they were selling a product online, their supply chain is locked down.
Yeah.
There's so many challenges out there, and I've been working with people to try and figure out ways to keep going. Massage therapists who have a very physical service are getting really inventive and creative with what they can do using digital aids. So
Yeah.
technology is to the rescue right now, and that's brilliant.
Yes. So in terms of your offer, how has it changed? Because I do services, and I know my offer has changed greatly since this happened. Partially in order to actually help people, because I saw that people wanted something different, and partially because there's things I physically can't do anymore till I am able to see people face to face. So how has your offer changed? Have your services changed? Did you have to rework them a bit, or are you still offering the same kind of packages or offers?
So I'm definitely making sure that what I'm doing is accessible even in more difficult times. So I'm getting really creative around the packages and things that I offer, because before I may have offered 6 months and sort of talked about what we could achieve in those 6 months. Now I might also do 3 months and just get more creative in terms of, okay, we work together now and we work out how we sort of solve the billing side maybe in the future. And it just depends on people's situation.
Yes.
Someone who's got their online business and who's really seen a drop in their income, they still need the support, they still need the help, and I'm still there to support and help everyone. I'm just doubling down on that service. I'm really focused.
Yeah.
People need, and I think no matter what your product is or your service, focusing on your customer's solution is key, because we're all in this situation together. We all have a whole new set of problems, and you can look at your own set of problems and stare blind at, oh my God, I'm so limited. Or you can look at your customer's set of problems and think, actually, what can I do to make my customers' life better? And I think that's key right now. That's where
helping to solve the problem is the key. I agree completely with you. So in terms of the changes you've made, is there anything that you're looking at and thinking, you know what, actually, I can bring this over when all of this is over? This is something that it's going to work.
Definitely. So my whole refocus on adding value, why wasn't I doing that before? And right, it seems so simple, and it's really because we were in this place where, maybe digital marketing gets a lot of focus. There's so much talk about what you should be doing to have a full, complete business. And whilst an Instagram post might add value to one person somewhere in the world, is it worth really that effort? Will anything come of it? And who is it really helping? Or are you doing it for the reasons of in terms of coaching, you know, how do I look to the
Yeah.
rest of the world? So I think that level of promotion maybe wasn't the most valuable for my business.
Yeah.
My business, it's more valuable to serve and really focus on what clients may need,
Yeah.
what they need, what their challenges are, and getting in there and finding ways forward.
Yeah. So that was really all my questions, and I would like you to close with 3 positives that this situation has brought you.
Absolutely. So the first one is a bit basic perhaps, but it's just to keep breathing, keep going. If you're struggling, take it 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. Just keep going. You know, this will actually pass. The sun will rise again in the morning. Tomorrow's another day. Don't be hard on yourself. Just keep breathing and keep going. The other thing, as I mentioned, was just focus on adding value to your customers any way. And there's opportunity lurking in places where you weren't expecting it. You know, there's new ways and different ways of doing it. And now that we're in this enforced lockdown, you get space and time to think and be creative and find new ways of doing things and adding value. And finally, really, with all these limitations that are outside of our control enforced on us, like being forced to stay at home, not being able to see people, not being able to do our normal work the way we probably normally would, this is a great time, always is a great time, but now more than ever, what will make a difference is if you remove the limitations that you put on yourself. And that's things like saying, oh, video calls, I can't do that, or oh, working online, that's not for me.
Yes.
Or, oh, I'm not good enough, or whatever. All these limiting things that we say to ourselves, they're just our thoughts and they're in our control. So we can change those, and now is the time to do that and let go of those limits and really just double down and service. That's it.
Absolutely love this. And I completely agree on everything you said. So yeah, thank you so much. That was really, really nice of you to sit here with me for 15 minutes and talk to us about all of this. And if people want to reach you, where do they go?
So they can find my website, cynthiamorecoaching.co.uk, or on Facebook, Cynthia Moore Coaching, LinkedIn, Cynthia Moore. So all of those channels you can reach me at.
Fabulous.
Get in touch. I'm here and I'm ready to help. And as I say, making sure it's accessible to all. So
fabulous. Thank you so much. And I'm sure I will speak to you soon.
Lovely to see you. Thank you.
Bye.